Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another week of the KCM, a new season, season 3. I guess this is week number 3. Go ahead and jump straight into Jaedong versus Light. It's going to be our game number 1 here. Light over in the top right-hand corner. Jaedong down in the bottom left. A pretty sweet matchup to start things off. We've got a ton of great players here today, though. There is your lineup: Light, Royal, Sharp, Snow, Bisu, Stork, Queen, Soma, and Jaedong. I'm looking forward to a good run from Jaedong here. He is long overdue. Long overdue. Jaedong, one of the best Zerg players of all time, has been getting knocked out very quickly and easily in the past few weeks of KCM. It's been a bit embarrassing, actually. I'm feeling bad for the guy right now. He is so well known for being just this monstrous Zerg player, one of the best, one of the innovators of mutalist play, just so strong with that unit. His Ling control is fantastic as well. He's just an innovator of Zerg overall, but his play in the KCM so far, and by extension, I'm sure in the ASL as well. Actually, I haven't watched the newest weeks of the ASL just yet. I'm still waiting for Tastosis cast to come out, but yeah, he just hasn't been doing so hot, man. And I think last season in ASL, he really fell flat. Right now in KCM, he's not doing so good, but I'm excited to see more of him in the future. I want to see him get back to that former glory. I wonder if we're in for the same thing, actually, from Flash in the future, because Jaedong did take some time off in order to go to the military. When he took the time off, he was in peak performance. He was doing very well against Flash. About as well as you can expect anyone to do against Flash. I mean, still with a losing record, of course, but making a good run of it at least, and that's no small feat. Now, Light has placed this barracks out here in the front. He's going to be rallying up Marines. That's been spotted now by Jaedong. He needs to not lose this Overlord, though, so he does pull that back, keeps that over top of this river. Gonna pop a ton of Lings out here. That could be the scout to save this game, actually. The Marine Rush from Light, totally scouted, will not do nearly as much as if he had managed to hide this a little bit longer. Now he's gonna head back home and set up an expansion, I think, here. Whoa, actually, he's toying with the idea of taking on these Lings right now. Jaedong has quite a bit. 6 Lings here in the front. He's going to try and pick off this Marine that just popped out. He surrounds perfectly and gets that, no problem. So a few more Lings going to be coming up here from Jaedong. Could be really devastating here for Light. Light trapped between defending his main and defending his barracks at this moment. Never a good choice to have to make, but looks like he's going to stay here in the middle to kind of defend his natural while dealing with these Lings in the main, just purely with his SCV control. So this is a precarious position here indeed for Light, who is being forced to pull SCVs off the line. Oh, he loses an SCV. Very rough start here for Light. Crossing the map now. The last Ling is taken out. Light coming down here with about 6 Marines in a long line here, and a bunker started at the natural. Can this bunker actually finish? He needs to stop this bunker from going down, but getting on top of the SCV, but it manages to escape. Some good RNG there from Light, keeping that SCV alive, and 1 Ling goes down as it's running by this small force. Let's see if Jaedong can get a flanking maneuver going. Maybe he can pick off a few reinforcing Marines here and wait a bit until that 3rd hatchery production starts to kick in so he can surround and kill this bunker. Triple SCV here, adding a little bit of extra damage to this attack. He's going to force the cancel on that drone as well that Sunken Colony not going to go down. Jaedong just buying some time here. A lot of Lings popping out. He's actually supply blocked at the moment. Gonna go ahead and surround this bunker immediately, not going directly for the Marines. Now gonna send some additional Lings for that Marine. The bunker goes down. The repair, no good. And these speedlings now are going to take the fight across the map. Light gonna lose 3 SCVs here on this bridge. And potentially the game here if this bunker's not done in time. Ling's just filing across the map. Is he actually going to just keep producing here and try to end with pure Ling? I think that's probably the call right now. Jaedong running over here towards the natural. Gonna threaten the run by here, but goes straight for the bunker, jumping on it immediately. No good surround here. Nice movement with the SCVs, but not good enough. The bunker goes down. Trying to disrupt the attacks of some of those Lings, but it just wasn't good enough. Light, 4 Lings in his main, manages to pick off one of them anyway. We'll bring forward a few more SCVs and Marines to try and take that down, but he is desperately far behind, and a Hydra's Den is on the way. More Lings streaming across the map here, and Jaedong can just run straight up into the main. There's no bunker. There's nothing blocking here. He's trying to get the academy up right now, and could end up being denied even that small kind of advantage there. Ooh, everything going wrong here for Light. He's gonna lose the natural. Yeah, just more Lings pouring across. Light is done, guys. Almost no Marines left over. Oh god, another Marine gets picked off. They're just not good at pathing. In this type of situation, it's so hard to get them to do what you want. He's doing a pretty good job of blocking some of these Lings with the SCVs, but GG is called. Jaedong takes game number 1. The rallies of Lings finishing off Light there. And hey, there you go. Jaedong finally gets a win here in KCM. The very first game of the night is against one of the strongest Terran players in the world right now. And Jaedong manages to take him down, so look at that. Not bad. I mean, it wasn't, you know, a long macro game or anything like that. Oh yeah, I was going to pull up my face here. This is something new we're doing. See? That's about right. So Jaedong manages to take a win there. It's a little weird looking into the camera, actually. I'm really used to staring at KCM in his face at this point in the game. This is awkward. Okay, we're gonna work on this. This will become a thing eventually, guys, but it's gonna take some time. I'm really not used to staring into a camera. Okay, let's go into game number 2. Okay, on to game number 2, guys. Bisu gonna be the next player to join us on Eclipse here. Oh man, almost blanked there for a second. I actually blanked right out when looking at the camera. Oh man, I changed the scene here on OBS. I looked at the camera and my mind just went completely blank. I apologize, guys. We're working on it. Takes a while to get used to. Takes a while to get used to casting in general. That's why I like to offer Patreon supporters a chance to cast some games with me as well. It is it's a lot harder than it looks, guys. It's a lot harder than it seems to just sit here and talk about a game you've been watching forever. I know it sounds simple, but it can be tough. Now Bisu getting behind the mineral patches here. I think this is a fake out. We do have a gateway, looks like, on the map here. So not gonna be throwing down any cannons, but he wants to make it look like he is. Kind of walking right past the hatchery there, like, hey, look, I've got a probe. The morphing hatchery here for Jaedong, the vision is super small, so the only way he could see that probe is if it walked literally right next to the hatchery, and Bisu did just that, just to notify his opponent that there was a probe there in the natural. And Jaedong just doesn't fall for it at all. He knows that his opponent is better than that, that he's not just going to reveal the probe for no reason. Whoa, a lot of missed shots. What the heck? Oh my god. This drone turning it around at the exact proper time here to get the high ground advantage there against Bisu's probe. Wow. Manages to take that fight easily. Now going to be able to snag this third base. I'm going to have to remember that trick because that probe can be super annoying, delaying the third by quite a bit. But I guess if you do turn it around right at the edge of the vision there, miss shot can end up giving you the win. Looks like the Zealot with just one kill going to go down here in the main base. Hits a single drone one time and then is finished off. Bisu not off to a great start here with his Gateway first build. Jaedong looks like he may just go across the map with the Lynx. No, he's going to leave two back at home and send the rest to surround and kill this Zealot. The next Zealot, third Zealot, going to head directly into the natural here. Should be met by those two Lings. Maybe another couple Lings getting popped out here shortly. Oh no, that's another Zealot. That is a probe. That probe just wandering around the map there for a little while, hanging out. Does finally get back to scouting. Bisu going to send the next two Zealots towards the natural, but the Zealot at the third base has been cleaned. And Jaedong should be well aware of additional Zealots being added on. Oh, he's heading out in a weird direction, though. He's not actually going to have these back at home when the next two Zealots arrive. That's unfortunate, because those two Zealots are going to head straight up to the third base and could begin to do a bunch of damage there. They could possibly take out this hatch. I don't think it'll happen. More Lings pop out at the natural, it looks like, and that should be enough to deal with these Zealots. One Zealot getting back home. Oh yeah, 500 HP on this hatchery. That drone popped out and just kind of blocked things for a second, but Zealots very low HP, gonna slip behind these mineral patches again, make the Lings take a terrible trade against them if he wants to try and break through that area. And those two last Zealots do end up going down. Nice pick off on the Zealot in the front there, picking off one. More Lings are coming. These are speedlings here, dealing quite a bit of damage to this Gateway. But the cannon does in fact finish. And these Lings are probably not going to get to do much here unless Bisu comes out with those Zealots in just a few seconds. Maybe he can try to run in. I don't think that Bisu's aware of the number of Lings that are actually here. If he walks out, that cannon could be dived upon and killed by this number of Lings quite easily. But for now, Bisu just going to chill in his main, keep that natural plugged up with Zealots, and work his way up towards a Corsair getting out on this map shortly. That's where Bisu shines, really. The Corsair micro, the Corsair decision making and usage is it's really beyond anyone else in this matchup. I think maybe only possibly Snow or Mini could be compared to him, but just with his overall usage and the number of overlords that he's able to kill on a regular basis, just as a result of being so incredibly good with them. Wow, that hatchery is really, really low. We just got to click on that. I think it was in a red HP there. That is a bit rough. We've got the layer down here as well. A Hydra Den is finished in the natural. I think that some calculations were being made there just a moment ago from Jaedong, deciding that Hydra Bus not going to end up working out. That Hydra Den finishes up. That's way earlier than you would usually expect to see a Hydra Den. But it's not going to harm him too much. It's just 100 minerals, 50 gas. He should have enough here to deal with these Zealots that are coming across the map. Like the Scourge coming out here, you're going to try to track down these two Corsairs, but they should be able to make it home. They do in fact spot the Zealots though, and those Zealots could make it here to this third base ramp before the Lings all make it over in this direction. Ooh, he does make it up the ramp. He's going to take a good trade here from the top of the ramp. Really difficult to get by this, but Jaedong managed to slip up the left side. He will get pretty decent surface area. Not the best. Bisu sending more zealots up into the natural now as well. That's going to be a pain in the ass for Jaedong to deal with. Hydra's though popping out. Going to help out immensely here. Those zealots kind of glitching around a little bit. Hydra's almost getting picked off. The zealot speed is done. That Hydralisk does escape though. And these zealots should be able to get 1 or 2 kills here in the main on some drones. Get 1 drone kill so far, but looks like they're going to get tracked down now and finished off here. Nice block on the top of the ramp. Jaedong just in time with those Hydras popping out to get that ramp block. Will push away the zealots at the third base, and he has in fact stabilized. Looking good here. Jaedong pumping out Hydras. 5 hatch at the moment, should be going to 6 hatch soon if he just wants to continue with this Hydralisk play, and it looks like he does. He's got the Evo chamber. +1 should be on the way at the moment, and Hydras are coming out en masse. A little bit of a supply block here though as Bisu takes out that Overlord. Again, just great usage of the Corsairs. Oh, as I say it, right into a Scourge there. Caster's Curse. Oh my god, and another one. Caster's Curse in full effect right now. That is a brutal move. Now, these Hydras running up here are going to be flanked by the Zealots on this side. So 5, 6 Zealots running straight up on top of this, and Corsairs are going to start to clean these Overlords as well. Overlord speed is done quite early. Good focus on that Corsair. Only 2 Corsairs left over, and Bisu is going to push everything back. Jaedong just on the full retreat here with those Hydras, trying to split them off, but Bisu decides might as well go across the map and do some counterattacking here with the number of Zealots. He might be able to get it done. More Scourge pop out. Should be able to clear these Corsairs. Pretty lackluster control this time from Bisu with the Corsairs, and not able to block that ramp. Jaedong also faltering a little bit on his control. Losing his positioning there on that high ground. I mean, with just 4 or 5 Hydras, you can hold off a pretty crazy number of Zealots on such a small ramp, but he's just not able to hold much of anything. Dark Templar coming here. There is the Overlord just gonna force that DT back. Not too much damage sustained here by Jaedong. He did lose quite a few Hydras. Was forced to continuously produce Hydras throughout this entire engagement, but his drone count's still looking reasonable. He's got a fighting chance here. We'll see if he can grab a 4th base anytime soon. Bisu should be able to snag his 3rd here in just another moment or so. Should be sending in a probe here pretty soon to start throwing down the cannons on high ground. This is what you really want to do as a Protoss player. When you have the Zerg opponent on the back foot, get a probe on the map, start to throw down some cannons on high ground, and just secure that next base, secure that additional mining. When ahead, get more ahead. Jaedong not going to be able to field a really big army here for a little while, at least not quickly enough to take out the cannons. It would be warping in on the high ground, and once you got cannons on high ground with a couple of storms, it's pretty much a wrap, man. These Hydras will never get up that tiny little ramp. I was talking about earlier how... Ooh, Dark... Whoa. Dark Archon. Hold on. I think Bisu metagame. Huge, big brain here. Recognizing that all of his Corsairs got taken out, it's likely going to be a transition into Mutalisk here. And preempting that, Bisu makes a Dark Archon immediately. Should have Maelstrom on the way as well, and that's going to have a ton of energy by the time any Mutalisk pop out. He could get a big Maelstrom on them and finish them off with a whole lot of Storm. Now, Jaedong getting a little bit more static D in his natural. His building base, whatever. Building base placement? No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Is SimCity, there you go. His SimCity not looking too hot right now. Oh god, a ton of Mutas pop out. Just huge brain, like Goliath brain. Bisu here, knowing exactly what the plan of Jaedong going to be. Those Corsairs, of course, getting picked off, but oh man, that's huge. Scout right now. Overlord flies into the main and sees the Dark Archon. What a sick scout there from Jaedong. He's looking to secure possibly a fourth down here in the bottom right. We'll see if he can hold that position or not. There's that probe coming out. I'd love to see him just focus that right now, and he does. Really good play there from Jaedong to just nab that pesky little probe there that was going to be taking the fourth base or the third base soon for Protoss. Cannot fly in with these mutas, just instead going to take another base. Should be researching Lurker here soon as well. These mutas are really not going to do too much except for maybe chase down some zealots, possibly dive on a few High Templars if the Dark Archon is not present, but taking an engagement with these mutas could just be straight up death. Maelstrom plus one or two storms will just annihilate these mutalisks. They won't stand a single chance. Oh man, this storm getting eaten by Jaedong. Really rough there, taking a bunch of damage. Doesn't really get much back from it, but with these mutas able to cancel the nexus. A great usage here of these completely countered Mutalisks, and Bisu just forced into a complete counterattack here, all in, going across the map. Tons of drones popping out at the moment. Jaedong kind of misunderstanding the situation right now. He killed the third base, but it's just going to be all-out attack here from Bisu. I'm sure he wishes those were some lurkers right now instead of just drones popping out at the moment. And he's throwing down a bunch of creep colonies, now building a bunch of lurkers, but it's a little bit too late. He doesn't block either. Oh man, the hatchery there on the left-hand side just not quite blocking. It needed to be one hex to the left. Jaedong making a bit of a miscalculation there. So many drones going down here in the natural as well. These mutas are all spread out, just kind of sitting here in the front. Lurkers burrow, storm on top of all of them immediately. Two storms to finish them off. The observer is still alive as well, and mutas are trying to do something over here, but there's really not too much that they can do. They cannot confront this army, and the main base is about to go down from Jaedong. Man, I've been in this situation before. It is so frustrating as the Zerg player. You've got defenses at your third and your fourth base, but your natural gets smashed and opened up, and there's just really not much you can do. There we go with a block. Jaedong keeping his fourth base alive at least, but being forced down to just two bases here as Zerg with all your tech being destroyed it's just so painful, and there's really not a good way to come back from this position. He's kind of stuck on a bunch of islands around the map at the moment. He's gonna kill this probe once again. Bisu just failing to take that third base. He is gonna dry up eventually on there. Both lurkers do end up going down. 4 sunken colonies here, but storms just taking down these lurkers easily. There's a lot of sunken colonies here, guys, and this is a really annoying location to try and battle into with dragons. And dragons, you can see they're just bouncing off of each other, not really doing anything. This Dark Archon is making it worse, actually. But finally, some dragons do find a location where they can hide out and just sort of hit hatcheries for a little bit. This is where the majority of the hatcheries are right now. There's only, I think, 4 hatcheries on the map, so Jaedong, with very limited production at the moment, he needs to make more lurkers. Some of the zealots do get up onto the high ground, but Maelstrom on the backside. Mutas, the full group here getting Maelstrom. Oh, that's painful. And a second one as well. Ooh, GG. No storm to finish them off, but it's going to be enough anyway. Jaedong taps out, and Bisu takes game number 2. Holy crap, just as that last game ended, I had a crazy coughing fit there. Unfortunately, Jaedong got taken out. Just big brain plays from Bisu, man. He knew exactly what was coming. He knew the meatless transition was going to be in Jaedong's mind there. Predicts perfectly, and the lurkers end up being a little bit late because of that investment. I mean, Jaedong took out that third base, which could have put him in a really good position if the lurkers were ready on time. He could have defended his natural, but the hatchery was off by a little bit there, so Zealots managed to get around onto the other side, plus the lurkers were late. What can you say? Bit unfortunate to see Jaedong go down so quickly, but hopefully he'll show us more good games like that game against Light in game number 1 in the future. Anyway, we're going to get on to our next game, guys. Let's hop on in. So then, we've already seen Bisu versus Jaedong and Light versus Jaedong. And things are moving along very quickly here. Sharp up in the top left-hand corner now versus Bisu. Very quick indeed. Both games going by very quickly. Not really much of a mid-game in either one. I guess more so in Bisu versus Jaedong, but I digress. Now we got Sharp here in the top left. Sharp, a crazy vulture user. Always tends to get damage done. He's kind of like the Bisu of Terran, I'd say. In that he just has a unit that seems to always get harassment damage done. I was talking about earlier, Bisu seems to be able to kill overlords and deal damage with Corsairs pretty much no matter what's going on in the game. Sharp's kind of the same way. He does a lot with very little when it comes to vultures. He just tends to get in there. And I guess that has to do with just the attempts, maybe a bit of game sense, constantly trying to get past the Protoss defenses, and he tends to get in there and get some damage. So I think we're likely to see some vulture play here as well. Maybe even go for a vulture expand. So we haven't seen a command center yet, so just a nice normal opener here from Sharp. Nothing too crazy. Bisu doing the same thing on Allegro here. No quick nexus or anything from Bisu. He's just getting his Dragoon out on high ground. No Zealot either. Just going for a nice Dragoon expand. A lot of players would... Oh, hold on. Oh, whoa. Sharp didn't check the main base there. He sent an SCV down to the bottom left. Didn't see anything there. And then sent a SCV to the top right and didn't check the main base, so he has no information. He's gonna check up here, find out that there's no Protoss. So he completely missed a scout there in the upper right. This Dragoon is going to come in here and probably do some significant damage. Yeah, Sharp's just going to have to run back up onto high ground. That range is nearly done, and rangeless Marines, or just rangeless medicless Marines versus a couple of ranged Dragoons get absolutely slaughtered. So he's going to have to chill here on high ground, get his command center built up there, and float it down a little bit later. Bisu starting his nexus here, and he has a robo on the way as well. That's going to be spotted out. Sharp, a great scout there, although a bit late. Second factory on the way here. Okay. Second factory from Sharp right away now. I was kind of expecting a starport to come out here, but I guess he's going to grab that second factory. Make sure he's safe here. Make sure he's got enough units to battle with Bisu here in the early game. He's already pushing things back. But Bisu just keeping it safe, not taking any engagements here. His range is now done. Observatory on the way as well. First vulture is out on the map. We'll see what this can do. Bisu already heading back home right now. And Sharp with the mines upgrade finish, gonna set some mines up, some good strategic position, but Bisu's already with the observers on the way. He's also trapped this vulture out of getting a mine into that third base location. Oh, nice job there, Bisu. Already had the shot on that mine. One shot from the other Dragoon. Does a little bit of micro there to get rid of that mine. So nicely done. This one is going to connect. Good connection there, but loses the vulture. Now this Dragoon is really, really low. It sees what's coming though. And Bisu should be able to prepare for this appropriately. Sharp coming up with, I think, 2 or 3 tanks. What has he got? 2 tanks, 4 Marines, and rallied vultures. It's not going to be enough, I think, to take on these 5 Dragoons here in the front. Even a pylon being thrown down. That's a very annoying pylon. That's kind of like the equivalent of Terrans floating a barracks at the front of their army. Just to soak up Dragoon hits. If it soaks up any Marine DPS or any tank shots, it's definitely worth it in a tight engagement where you could end up losing. Otherwise, you might just take a sweet victory against the Terran army with those extra buildings in the mix. So Bisu gets set up, he gets prepared, he throws down his third base. Sharp just decides to back off, will hang back with an armory on the way. Diving in here now, Sharp gonna try to take down some of these Dragoons, but really nice micro there from Bisu backing out. Only a single probe will go down and a bunch of mines were wasted, plus a few vultures go down as well. So a really good trade there for Bisu, handling that attack perfectly. Sharp just not able to get anything done with those mines. Sometimes that's the way she goes, man. The Dragoons just walk out easily and mines are not able to connect on anything. It happens sometimes. Now Bisu loading up some zealots. I don't see that he has a robotic support bay, but there it is, a Reaver popping out. So gonna start the Reaver harassment here in another moment. And what does Sharp have back at home? I think his turret's just going up. Now, if I can see by the mini-map here, 2 Goliaths pop out as well. I think that should be Goliath range on the way at the machine shop there. If that finishes up before the shuttle flies in, that could be an easy cleanup for Sharp. This is a slow shuttle, and a Goliath with range, they just take those down so quickly. So we'll see if Bisu can get in here and deal any damage, or will he get shut down. There's a turret here as well, another turret up in the front. Sharp's got things pretty much covered, and Bisu just gonna have to retreat. Now that Sharp's seen that shuttle, he's gonna be extra alert as well, getting into position, making sure that there's no holes in his defense. I really like this defense by Sharp. Having the 2 Goliaths as the mobile defense, but not relying on them completely to make sure that he doesn't get hit there. He's keeping a couple of turrets in his main. Now we're going up to carrier here for Sharp. Look at that fleet beacon finishing up. Carriers have started. 2 Stargate carrier gonna be the choice, and I really haven't seen much carrier on this map, so I'm not sure exactly how good it's going to be here. There's plenty of ramps around, but not that many impassable terrain locations aside from kind of the normal areas, right? Like around the natural, around the main, those are unpassable, of course, but in the middle of the map, it's pretty wide open. So there is an opportunity to chase down carriers if they try to engage on open ground against those Goliaths. They can kind of run them down. So I hope that's not going to happen to Bisu here. He is powering up very nicely on 3 base. He's got the defense with the Reaver, just in case Sharp decides to pull something here. In case he decides to go for an attack. Here's the scan. Where does he see? Oh, there's the scan. Yeah, he sees the 2 Stargates here. And he knows 100%. He cancels. What was that? I think that might have been a second armory. But he cancels. He's going to add on more factories here instead. And go for a full-on attack. 3 base bully Terran here. Just try to take this guy out before the carriers get out of control. +1 is done. +1 armor should be on the way here shortly. Don't think we have seen a starport just yet, or a science facility. So going to be relying on a kill move here coming up very shortly. Sharp is preparing now for this push to begin. Carriers moving forward. Goliath's going to try and snipe this shuttle before the engage happens. Really nicely done. Does lose a Goliath for that, but picking off the shuttle with the Reaver on board, or with the Reaver, I guess the Reaver got unloaded, so it wasn't exactly on board, but getting rid of that shuttle means the Reaver's much more easy to take out. Only losing 1 Goliath for that. Not too bad, I guess. Another shuttle can be brought up here. And the Reaver might end up being picked up again, but for now that is a pretty easy target for shuttle, or for Sharp, excuse me, if he decides to move out here shortly. And I think he will as well. He's reached 132 supply, another 20 supply, another couple of rounds of factory units. And he should be ready to take a big fight here. He's got to be very careful, though, with this first move out. Everything hinges on whether this goes well or not. He's chasing the army here. The ground army of Bisu retreating towards the south here. Not going to get any shots off. Okay, 1 shot off with the tanks there. And he should be changing direction here in another couple of moments. Bisu actually chasing these tanks and Goliaths here from the left-hand side, now pushing through the middle. Sharp just going to shove directly towards the natural. This counterattacking army, though, heading straight up towards this natural from Sharp. A lot of mines here, though, and Zealots are going to get eaten alive by these if they just charge head first into the mines. BC doing a good job, though, backing away immediately, making sure that he keeps the majority of this ground army alive as a distractionary tactic. This is brilliant here. Bisu just continues to fall back, and Sharp's army... Oh, the mine! Oh! Okay. Not too bad. I thought that mine was going to get right in the center of that cluster of mech units. Now a 4th carrier has arrived. The carrier ball is starting to get scary here, and we do still have a lot of ground army on the side of Bisu popping out. He is at 200 supplies, so going to be feeling really good here when he takes this next fight against 138 from the Terran side of things. I'm surprised Sharp hasn't maxed out yet. He was getting... He was around 130 supply just a few moments ago, and all he's been doing is running back and forth, chasing his opponent's army. So I'm surprised he's as low in supply as he is. Here's the +1/+1 timing. It's finally done. Sharp gonna hit the natural now, finally. And Bisu gonna go for the counterattack once again. I think mines should be set up on the flanking path here. Make sure that that doesn't occur. But Bisu with 4 carriers just going to avoid this army. More Goliaths popping out here. Some mines are present. But just pure Goliath versus pure Dragoon is not that great. But if you have overwhelming numbers, of course, you can take any sort of battle, even if it's not favorable. Goliaths are going to be able to win that and send these Goliaths back home, or send these Dragoons back home. Goliaths here in the middle, but not very many tanks left over. We've got about 8-9 tanks, but there's so many Zealots just to the right of the screen here. Bisu gonna take out a few more Goliaths before he decides to engage with this army. Just taking his time here. He is completely maxed out, and Sharp actually gonna head home. It looks like no, he's heading to try to intercept this ground army, which is heading around the bottom side of the map. Sharp wasting quite a bit of time with this move, but preventing the counterattack might be worth it. Now there are 6 carriers, though. 6 carriers is where things start to get really scary for the Terran. It's super hard to take a good engagement against this, and with only 160 supply, we'll see how well he can trade against this maxed out army of Bisu with the carrier as well. He's going to start to take down this third base, a fourth on the way now for Sharp, but something's heading around that side, looking to contest that base. Maybe a single zealot. Yeah, it will be just one zealot and try to take down this SCV. We'll see if Sharp can react to that during all of this craziness on the opponent's side of the map. He's trying to make this push work. It absolutely has to work now, or he's going to be in real trouble. Actually, Sharp backs away after dealing with that base at the 12 o'clock, and Bisu now with 8 carriers, man. 8 carriers is a wild number, dude. It takes so many Goliaths to deal with this, and things get deleted within a second now. Whenever Bisu right-clicks something, it just goes bye-bye immediately. You can see even buildings, man. This engineering bay goes down so quickly. But we're gonna get to 10 carriers soon, and when we get to 10 carriers, that's when things get pretty darn insane. There's the 9th and the 10th popping out soon after. That's when a Protoss player can just fly into a Terran base, right-click down the command center, and it just dies. It just goes to nowhere very, very quickly. There's not really much you can do about it, to be honest. Even with Goliath running forward, maybe you can pick off a single carrier, but it's part of the carrier's ability that they can just fire out their interceptors and then run away while the interceptors are taking down the building. Now he's going to go after these tanks in the main army of Sharp, just deleting each and every single one of them with great shift clicks here. Getting rid of those is the primary objective for this carrier army. As soon as those have gone down, the Zealots and Dragoons will trade so well, so efficiently against these Goliaths, and you can see these massive number of Goliaths just not even able to take down a few Dragoons sitting underneath these carriers here. And the Goliath number has been reduced so much now. I think that Sharp just has to retreat. He's going to lose this tank here in the front, and that's really the last tank on the field at the moment, with only 2 machine shops. I think he needs another one. It's going to take a long time to replenish that tank number. We've got 3 gas here and a 4th on the way, so Sharp should be able to produce more tanks, but can he match these carriers, man? The carriers walking in and just killing off that refinery. Not a bad call there from Bisu. Lost basically nothing, just a few interceptors, and it delays the gas mining from Sharp for quite a long time. Now moving forward here and getting these Goliaths a little bit trapped and utilizing this terrain very nicely here. Bisu just kind of hovering over the edge of that that high ground there, that high ground cliff. No, what do you call it? I don't even know what to call that. These sort of high ground bridges around the map. I don't know what to say, what that should be called, but you know what I'm talking about. Hanging around that area, just making sure that he has some impassable terrain to retreat to if anything starts to go wrong here. And Sharp tries to dive forward. He is going to get a carrier, might even get a second. Some of these carriers are getting pretty low, but you can see just heads directly south, gets over top of that impassable terrain, and the Dragoons start to pick off way too many of these Goliaths. Bisu at 190 supply has reestablished now the 12 o'clock expansion. He's also got to expand over at the 3 o'clock as well, so his economy is looking really good right now. Sharp as well has 4 bases. Starting to run a little bit low though on some of these minerals. And where is he going to take that next base? That next base is worrying me right now. Nice pick off on one of the carriers. Only loses a few Goliaths for that. Might be able to dive forward once again, but he's got no tanks behind this. No tanks here, and the the Dragoons can just run forward and start to pick off Goliaths and the turrets as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bisu just right-click down this command center right now. Maybe he doesn't have enough interceptors at the moment but that can be just a great move. If you start to pick off command centers, then you limit so much of the economy from the Terran player that they just kind of stifle and fall apart. So he's gonna go after some of these tanks right now. Gets a couple of tanks nice and easy, only losing a few interceptors there, and now I think he can just right click this down unless he wants to take more fights with the Goliath there. Ooh, one more does get picked off. Sharp doing a pretty reasonable job of fighting off these carriers, keeping his base alive and lowering their number just slightly. No vultures heading around the bottom side of the map. Sharp really doesn't have any extra economy to build more units, and there is kind of the final piece of the puzzle for Bisu coming across the map now. Templar are joining the fight, and with those Templar, he should be able to storm out these Goliaths. That's really going to be the key here to taking this army on what Sharp's been able to field. Any attempt to dive onto these carriers will be completely thwarted by this strategy. Just dropping some storms on those Goliaths, they absolutely melt. Oh, running forward into the Goliaths, though, is not a great idea. That's definitely not how you want to do it. Doesn't lose a carrier for that, but it was close. Now, sending a probe down to the bottom right-hand corner. Looks like going to take even more bases here. Oh, does get the Nexus down. Sharp tried really hard to deny that, but doesn't manage to do it. Now, setting up some mines here in the middle of the map, trying to send a... No, that's not a command center. Trying to send some buildings down to the bottom left-hand side. Sharp wants to maybe try to split the map here. The game's gone too far now for this game to end anytime soon, and anything except for a Terran loss. So try to split the map. Nice storms on these Goliaths. Great storms on the tanks as well. These storms way too good, and you can just see the supply drop from Sharp so low here, down to just 80 supply against 153. I don't know how you hang on after that big of a loss, with these carriers now going to be able to fly around, start to pick off FCVs. They can start to target down command centers as well. GG is called. Sharp taps out, and Bisu wins the game with a storm at the end. Nicely done. Oh, that's not my face. Okay, there I am. Hello. Well, Bisu manages to take down Sharp there. Carrier's looking freaking strong actually on that map. I didn't really expect it, but utilized properly, Bisu makes carriers look freaking OP. Also, some great counterattacking action there for buying time for the carriers. Really well played PvP there. We're gonna jump on into our next game, guys. Let's get it started. Moving right along here, we've got Soma down in the bottom right-hand corner, Bisu in the top right. Bisu working his way towards an all-kill here. That 1 million won prize looking pretty good right now. All he needs to do is get through Soma, Royal, and then one more player. If he takes down both the Zerg players, he's going to get that all-kill, of course. Jaedong did take down Light, so an opportunity to get the all-kill from the Terran side. He needs to do it through Zerg as it stands right now, and he's got to take down Soma here. Going to be a tough climb, though. Taking down Soma, not an easy task. This guy is crazy good at control. Well known for his Mutalisk control ability and his Zergling control. He's very aggressive, and he's just as likely to Hydra bust you as anyone else. I doubt we'll see kind of an action-esque play from Soma. He did mess around a little bit with some more macro style play, I guess. What was it called? Crazy Zerg? He did do some Crazy Zerg here and there. But against Protoss, he likes to play a much more low economic game. Not really trying to force his way into a hive really early. Instead, just trying to eke out small advantages in the mid game. Work with counterattacks, Hydra movement, Hydralisk, big Hydralisk armies to take down these Protoss players. Has some of the best overall macro micro with those huge groups of Hydras that I have ever seen. This guy can control, you know, 2, 3, 4 groups of Hydras at a time and make sure that he's simultaneously dodging storms and picking off Templar, taking good fights as well, microing against Zealots. He can do it all, man. So looking to see it, hoping to see a great game here between Soma and Bisu. Bisu, of course, the Corsair King. We'll see if he's able to get in there and pop some of them Overlords. A Nexus coming down here pretty early for Bisu, and we've already got that gas out of Soma. Did he get the speed though? I actually wasn't focused on that gas count when I should have been here. But Bisu just sitting back at home, he's chilling. He's not moving out, not giving his opponent an opportunity to run in. And looks like we do have speed now. The speed is done. There's quite a few links that have been made, and no pressure. No pressure coming here from Bisu. He's just gonna sit back at home, get a cannon up. His Nexus is on the way. Soma starts a third hatch in main, which is very odd to me. I think I've seen a build like this for a very long time in Zerg vs. Protoss. This is looking like a Zerg vs. Terran build right now, actually. And Soma's just kind of hanging out here. You know, he's built all these lings, which definitely hurts his economy a lot. This is kind of a dream scenario here for Bisu. Soma's sitting at 18 of 18. Oh, but you can't move out right now. Do not move out, Bisu. Just sit in your wall. Just sit in your wall. Do not do that. No, 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 no. Okay. Shocking that Soma didn't decide to dive in there. He's got all these links. Oh my god. He's leaving. No, Bisu gonna die here, I think. This is horrible. This is exactly what needed to not happen. Here we go. Going for the cannon. Cannon gonna get taken out real quick here, and he can actually dive into the main as well. 4 lings remain. There's gonna be more lings coming. Now there's even more lings being produced back at home, I assure you. And these zealots will be surrounded and killed eventually. Meanwhile, at home, Bisu just struggling to get a cannon up right now, trying to fight against the lings in the main and the lings in the natural at the same time. Probes going down galore here. Oh man, Bisu, a victim of his own instincts here, it seems like. He really wanted to move out and put that pressure on with zealots at the time when pressure with zealots is usually a good move, but in this case it just wasn't good at all. That Zergling speed had been done for a long time. So much had been invested into lings, and yeah, there's tons of probes going down here in the main. There's almost no mining remaining here for Bisu, and actually Soma can turn this around and just go into a macro game after this. Oh my gosh, he's lost every zealot in the main. Only one more zealot remains. Oh man, the cannon could be dived upon once again. Looks like Probe's doing a great job of blocking. This cannon doing a lot of work here, but those few lings do manage to make it up here into the main. They're going to start to take down these probes. Might as well transfer all of them to the natural, and that's what he does do. Bisu, oh no, losing even more probes. Why is he transferring these back? The main. That's so painful to watch. Drones coming up to the front here. Soma a little bit distracted trying to micro here with all of the lings in the main and working on his drone count back at home. Bisu is just in such a desperate situation here. I don't know if there's much of a chance for a comeback at this point, but it looks like he's gonna try and make it happen regardless. Got 22 to 27. A Hydralisk Den on the way for Soma. So being ahead in supply, he's just going to go ahead and pull the trigger on a finishing blow here. Try to take down Bisu before he can get back on his feet. Stargate on the way. But Hydralisk Den is already done, so Hydra should be popping here momentarily. And that Corsair is not going to get across the map for quite some time. Looks like Bisu's replenished some of his probe count, but he's still only got one cannon here. There more links could actually run in and run back up into the main once again as well. Doesn't look like Soma has any intention of doing that for the next little bit. He just wants to get this third base going and start his Hydralisk production. No Hydras just yet. Soma just popping out a ton of drones right now. Replenishing that count. Making sure he's got enough here to take this into a late game. If Bisu happens to be able to hold a Hydra bust here, he could actually just produce Hydras to defend his overlords. He's got his overlords lumped up here in the natural. If he produces 2 or 3 Hydras, he could keep all of them alive and just focus on droning up onto that third base, get farther and farther ahead here. Like Hydralisk speed is already done, and he is producing a bunch of Hydras, so gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on this bus. Gonna run forward here with the Hydras, and Bisu just now sees the Hydra Den with his Corsair. Gonna start to throw down some of these cannons here in the front, but I don't think it's gonna be on time. Cannons are pretty far back here from the wall, so they can't actually be targeted down by the Hydras until these frontal buildings are dead. GG is called. Bisu taps out, and Soma takes that game. Quite the back and forth there. Quite the back and forth. It's really disappointing, I'm sure, for Bisu that he moved those zealots out. That was not the right move there. He didn't have any information, though. He had nothing out on the map. I think he saw the earlier gas and could have guessed that speed was done. He actually did see speed was done with the probe. He just didn't see the number of lings. If he had known how low the drone count was at that point, he would have absolutely identified that there was a ton more lings on the map, but he had no idea about that drone count, and he moved his zealots out at the wrong timing there, and everything just spiraled out of control from there. So Soma takes a nice win with a run by. Of course, it wasn't ended by the run by, but it was very close to over. He really didn't need to do much to bowl Bisu over in the mid game because of how much of an advantage he got there. Anyway, guys, let's go into our next game. It's going to be Soma versus Royal. That's our final Terran of the group. Let's get into that next one. So then, as we start our last ZVT of the night, I can see that Royal has been sharing notes with his buddy Light. Starting off here with a barracks in the middle of the map. He's going to be trying to put on some pressure here in the early game. Taking a page out of Light's book here. It didn't work out very well for Light. We'll see if it does any better for Royal. Light kind of, he lost to Jaedong in the first game of the night with this build, but hey, it has worked in the past. It will work again in the future. It just depends on what build Soma's planning to do here, and it looks like a 12 hatch, so things are already looking better here for Royal. Seems like he has something of a chance here to get some damage done with these early Marines, and he shouldn't end up getting overwhelmed by Lings in the early game here. The first drone is out, gonna go ahead and scout. Looks like he will actually see this barracks, I think. Yeah, just barely gonna see that barracks. We will see the first Marine popping out here. And the bunker will be going down in just a moment's time. Cancels that extractor. Soma just gonna focus on getting his minerals going here and sending drones out to stop a bunker from going down here too quickly. Also gonna be chasing back that marine. And he's doing something sneaky with this drone up here. I'm curious what he's actually doing there. I guess he went into the main base and just went around through this way as a more safe way to return to the main. It's actually, the drone's actually coming through the middle of the map and gonna try and flank here. What is this? Okay, that's an interesting drone. I think it's gonna get taken out. Ooh, 6 HP, so close. A factory in the main. Oh, this is dirty. Dirty, dirty devil, you Royal, getting a factory in the main. He's gonna be producing vultures in the main base. That's gonna be so painful for Soma. If he doesn't spot this really, really soon, he's gonna be in a ton of trouble. He's gonna be relying on slowlings here to hold off against vultures in the main. It's gonna be so bad if he doesn't spot this. In the next about 20 seconds, he is gonna lose a ton of drones in the main. And these lings will never be able to track down and kill these vultures. Our Hydralis Den being produced now. Soma, thinking about the future, he saw the early gas from Royal, so assuming that there's a 1-1-1 here, he hasn't seen any vultures yet, so he's got to be getting suspicious. Well, it should be one coming across the map soon, and there it is. He sees it. The vulture here in the main, gonna get 2 drone kills right off the bat. And that's more than an early, a build like this can actually handle. This build from Soma. He sacked a lot of drones here in order to get this many links out in the early game, to get that early gas, to get the Hydra Den down. And now he's losing a ton of links for free. Ooh, the speed finishes at a pretty convenient time there for Soma. He is going to track down this vulture in the corner as well, so he gets both vultures. But he lost a ton in order to make it happen. He lost also a ton of drones as well. I think 3 or 4 drones went down there. Now the Hydras are finally out, but they can't quite chase down these vultures just yet. The vultures can get moving shots down. They have a little bit more range than the Hydra, and he finishes one of them off. A few more links gonna pop out here. Not what Soma needs. He's gonna lose some more drones as well. One more drone. Just so much damage here in the main. A 3rd vulture gonna arrive. And speed? No. It's just a little bit of lag there, actually. Made it look like they had speed for a second. And, oh man, this is getting so bad for Soma here. I've been in this situation before previously myself. And it's just infuriating to lose your entire economy to a play like this, a factory in the main. Oh man, I would just be so butthurt right now if I was Soma. And there's really nothing you can do. Your options here are so incredibly limited. You can see 18 supply to 35. You really have to try something crazy here, and Royal's just gonna go follow up with an academy. Oh man, this is so rough. He's gonna have so many marine medics, and there's really nothing of what Soma has that can actually deal with the marine medic right now. He could go into Lurker, but even that's just really not going to do the trick here. Looks like Soma wants to throw down some sunken colonies at the front. There's a possibility he could try to get to the back, take a 3rd base in the tucked back natural there, and try to play this out in a long game. Maybe go for Lurker as well. He's getting the Spire, but trying to re-drone here while simultaneously building his tech and creep colonies, sunken colonies. Oh, it's really tough. Here comes Royal with those first 2 medics. He doesn't have range just yet, I don't think, but he should have stim now. would be kind of suicidal to attack this number of sunken colonies as they're just completing right now, but forcing these out is really the name of the game. Get those sunken colonies, force them to be produced. That's going to limit the number of drones that Soma has, and ultimately the number of Mutalisks that he's able to field. Now heading over to the center right. This is a great move. Royal gonna start to pick off these eggs here, make himself a path. A pathway through which he can make it into that center right and prevent any base from going down. If someone decides to try and take an early third here at the island location there in the center right, it's not gonna happen because he has killed those eggs. Royal can slip through there and prevent that base from going down. So great move there by Royal. Oh, we're having some lag here. That is a little bit weird. This is a downloaded replay, so or a downloaded video, so I don't know why we're having lag. There's literally no internet connection associated with this replay, but regardless, looks like things have cleared up. An Overlord does go down. Royal managing to pick that off and supply block his opponent as well. So things are just looking so rough. Poor Soma. He is going to send out a drone on the map. Maybe try to take a sneak base. It might be the only thing that can save him right now. He's sending one down, looks like to the bottom right-hand corner. Could send it to the 6 o'clock. That might not be a bad location. You could hide a base, but from what I saw, the click with the vision there, he's going to send it to the bottom right, and Royal going to try and break this base. He focuses the center sunken colony here, but the mutas have popped out now finally. One more sunken colony does remain. Not quite enough sunkens here to defend, and Royal bringing up some more reinforcements. He's going to bring a few more Marines up and should be able to break this base now. The muta control here from Soma is pretty darn good, but I don't think anything can save him at this point. Royal is damn good at holding off these mutas as well, just making the most of the situation. He breaks through, takes down the natural, kills off all the drones, and Soma just going to have to tap out. GG. Oh man, that is... Oof. That is a sad way to go down, guys. Having a factory in your base, there's just really nothing you can do. You saw it, guys. He kept producing lings. He microed fantastically with those lings as well. Even capturing, like, trapping one of the vultures there up in the top left-hand corner, but it just wasn't enough. The Hydras pop out. They get killed by the vultures. Ah, that's so frustrating, and so many drones go down. You really can't be losing drones as a Zerg player in the early game, and vultures are just so cheap. He made like 5 vultures, and how much money does that cost? It's so inexpensive. The Terran gets a huge economic lead, and Soma fighting from a disadvantage, it just was never gonna happen. Royal takes that game. Soma's knocked out. We're going to go into our next Terran versus Protoss. Let's get it started. Okay, on to our next one here. We've got Stork in the bottom left-hand corner, Royal in the bottom right. Guys, I just want to mention, I can hear my own wheezing in the previous recording. I just wanted to let you know that I'm not dying. Everything's okay. I think I can still hear it in my lungs a little bit, but it's fire season here in BC, in Okanagan. So poor Scott has some terrible allergies that he has to keep under control. I already took some Benadryl. I took some allergy medication, and it's not really helping out too much. I mean, could be better, that's for sure. But regardless, we're gonna push through. Gonna try to make do here. If I have to stop and cough, it'll probably be just a quick cut in the video, and we'll get right back into the action. But we're here on that crazy map, that weirdo map that you've probably seen already in ASL or here on the channel. This one with all of the temples and the chrysalis on the natural base, and of course the third base as well. Kind of on an island here in this map. And both players are expanding rapidly here to start the game off. I think this is the first Terran versus Protoss I've seen on this map, so really looking forward to see how this plays out. Looks like Royal went for a much faster command center. The command center is a little off. Not quite in the optimal position, but it's built much faster, and eventually it will be lifted off and landed in the appropriate location. Now Stork going directly over here after killing the first 4 chrysalis, down to the third base to kill the next 4. And may end up taking a very fast third base. I wonder what his plan is here. Is he gonna just snag 3 bases right off the bat and go into some sort of crazy macro build? Is it gonna be a quick carrier build? It feels like it would be really strong on this map since we are on islands. And there's so many, there's so much impassable terrain on this map that it feels like carrier would be insanely strong here. Also, it's extremely hard to get a attack going as a Terran player before carriers are out. Now, I don't want to get too far into sort of gaming out the options here for the Protoss, but I think that would probably be a good play. We've got the range spinning right now. Stork is getting his robo, and a first observer is about to pop out. Meanwhile, Royal's starting up a Wraith, so kind of predicting a Reaver here in the early game, which makes a lot of sense. You know, there's not really much you can do in terms of early game harassment here as the Protoss player, unless you go ahead and get a really quick Reaver. And so Royal just gonna preempt that play, go ahead and get a Wraith out, try to pick off any shuttle that comes here in the early game. Stork not going for that though, just getting his observers out. He only wants to see what's going on. He wants to find out what his opponent is up to and then react accordingly. There's the observer heading into the main base now. Stork with his third base. So Royal's natural, quite a bit quicker than his opponent, but Stork's third base getting sent down earlier. And we'll see if Royal wants to take another base. Yes, he does. Just straight into the third here for Royal as well. Very interesting stuff. Full scout here from Royal as well. He sees everything that's going on. He knows that he's safe right now and can just easily take this base. Got an armory here, and the starport has an add-on. Does he want to go for some sort of drop? I feel like it could be strong here. Maybe you can land a tank inside one of these triangles. I really haven't seen this map played much or played it myself much, so your guess is as good as mine. Like I said, this is the first Terran versus Protoss I've even seen on this map. And that dropship heading all the way around to the other side. I don't really know where it's going exactly, but the cybernetic score is spinning. Yes, we are gonna have a carrier game. Nice. Stork coming through. This man loves his carrier, so I was kind of hoping that we would see some carriers out of him. Of course, we've already been blessed with a carrier game today already. But it's always nice to have another one. Why not? Stork, known for going carrier like almost every game in ASL against Terran. I can't remember which season that was, but there was one season where he just never stopped going carrier. And just seemed to always be able to make it work. Now, Royal dropping off some vultures and getting some mines out. Going to be sending those now into the natural base here for Stork. We'll see what damage that can get done. Stork has quite a few Dragoons thrown around the map, so he's ready for this. I think something just got dropped up in the top left. I believe it's a probe, so nice job by Royal predicting that Stork might just go ahead and try to snag a base in the upper left. Preempts that play, getting the vultures over there and preventing that from happening. Does get a probe or two maybe in the natural base, but picks up the vultures and gets out of there pretty quickly. Not going to risk losing those vultures or the dropship here early on. Instead, just gonna head on back home. And a lot of factories coming up right now for Royal. Royal getting prepared for a big attack here shortly. Triple Stargate is complete for Stork. Stork getting a ton of carriers right now. 3 carriers at a time. So it won't be long before 6 carriers are out here, but there is a small window where Royal could make a big attack happen and possibly take down Stork here. It'll all come down to the timing of this next push, though. Here we go, heading through the bottom part of the middle. However, Stork gonna set up for a counterattack here. Almost breaking through a power generator, but not quite. One tank here a little bit too far north. Will end up getting picked off by this Dragoon. Oh man. Zealot drop here at the 3rd as well. Stork can introduce some serious distractions here for Royal to deal with while this attack is starting. Doing a good job of taking his attention away from the front here, where Royal really needs to keep his attention at the moment in order to make this attack actually work before the carriers are out. There's the first 3 carriers. They've got no interceptors, though. They need a little bit of time here to build up that interceptor count before he can actually break through and try to take a fight here. Looks like coming up, Stork gonna try to flank this army. Just try to buy himself a little bit of time, but not able to do it. Royal now pushing south, just about in range of that Nexus now. Zealot's gonna come up here, try to deal with that tank, and manage to pick that off. Another tank moving forward here. Royal committed to this attack. He needs to make it work. He is +1/+1 and done here. That's all he's got, and he has to make it work. He's got to push through. He's killing off the cannons, but the Nexus is still strong. Still plenty of hit points there, and these 3 carriers have finally built up the interceptor count they need to deal some serious damage. Base in the upper left from Stork has been established. No probes at that location yet. Right now, he just needs to save this base. It goes down. Looks like Zealots, Dragoons running forward here with the carriers. 5 carriers are out. Whoa, where are they going? Running straight into the army here. That's no good. He's got to pull those back. A drop in the top right-hand corner, or top left-hand corner, excuse me, canceling this Nexus. And Stork is stuck on only 2 bases right now with carriers out on the map. He's gonna go for a counterattack, see what he can get done. Royal pushing forward hard. Gonna try and get another shot off with those Reavers. Nicely done. Picks off 2 tanks with those Reavers so far. The Stargates are now under threat. Can he actually take these Stargates down, prevent more carriers from coming out? Or will Stork be able to clean this? Great shots with the Reavers. Keeping the ground army back here, and a flank as well. Dragoon plus Zealot on the right-hand side. Carriers overhead and Reavers on the left. This army is completely surrounded. Nicely done picking off these tanks. Only 2 tanks remain. Just focus those down, and he should be able to clean up everything else with the Reavers. Yes, he finishes that army. More reinforcements are coming up though, and the drop is dealing so much damage. Look at this drop with 5 kills, 4 kills, and 1 more vulture, I think, underneath there. No, 9 kill Goliath. Wow, 6 kills there. I believe that's 18 total kills, if I remember correctly, but holy cow. Great drops from Royal. Just getting out there on the map and dealing with these expansions, doing serious economic damage to Stork, and preventing him from really building up his carrier count, building up his ground army as well. Actually, the carrier count is looking pretty substantial. We'll see what he can do with that at this bottom left base of Royals. Drop coming in as well. Zealot's going to be dropped down here to deal extra DPS to these oh my goodness, this Temples have way too much health. He's picking off all the turrets. The Temple is just taking way too long to kill. He's gonna lose this command center, possibly. He loses position here at the 3rd base, and Stork gonna kill the eBay as well. Oh, it's so annoying. Royal just really needed to get down here at the Goliath. If the way was open already, he would have held this easily with his huge number of Goliaths, but unfortunately not able to move through with his units. Has to pick off that Temple first, and he is in a real trouble now. He does focus down the Reavers though. Really good focus on those 2 Reavers, picks them off immediately. Now can go to work fighting the Interceptors without fear of splash damage anymore. Stork being pushed back. His supply is very low, but he's setting up a new fresh base up in the top left-hand corner. It looks like Royal maybe has something up there. Might be pushing through. I'm not 100% sure if those are mines or what does he have up there. Oh no, it's vultures. Vultures are breaking through this temple. It takes forever, but eventually they will get through, and could start to wipe out those Stork probes up in the top left. That's so many carriers. Holy crap. 10 carriers are out for Stork. He's only got 100 supply to 154, but with 10 carriers and free reign over the map, he might be able to make a miracle happen here. 10 carriers headed up towards the top right-hand corner. There are a ton of Goliaths ready to intercept them, plus a lot of turrets have been built. But there's this is kind of an open base right now. Where are these Goliaths? Actually, I thought there would be more countering this right now, but I don't know where is the whole army. It's not able to move freely. A lot of the temples are still around, and Royal just breaking into the main here. He's gonna go for a base trade. It's not usually a good idea to go base trade against a carrier player. It is so hard to win, but Royal with the huge supply advantage, maybe he can make it work. This base in the top left-hand corner had enough. Oh, 1 carrier heading up to the top right, gonna deal with this small base here, with this outpost of Terran. And ooh, he's focusing down a carrier. There we go. He gets one. 1 carrier does go down, but the supply is dropping here a lot faster for Royal. Down to just 123 to 72. He needs to focus his carriers. Go for it. Turning and trying to fire on the carriers, but doing a great job of staying over the impassable high ground here. Uh-oh, running forward with the carriers. He will end up focusing down one of those, I think. But Stork, oh man, this army is just so damn strong. 10 carriers cannot be denied, man. It's almost better to just try to pick off all the buildings at this point. Instead of facing this carrier army, threaten at least to finish all the buildings off. Command center goes down. Instant focus, like I talked about earlier. 10 carriers can kill a command center so damn fast. It's like you don't even know what's happening. They're just all dead instantaneously. Now picking off a ton more Goliaths. I don't see any scans here to help Royal get vision of these and actually try to start dealing some real damage to them. And more Goliaths going down here in the main. The factories are being leapt upon here by Stork, and it looks like Royal has abandoned his campaign to finish off the main base, instead coming back home with the majority of his units. Gonna try to save what he has left, down to just 100 supply now, whereas Stork is holding strong at 76. Looks like units going up towards the top left, actually, instead of coming back to support. We'll see if Royal can hold on back at home and take out the base in the top left-hand corner. Stork has very little money left, but Royal is paused at 16 minerals only. This is all he has left for the rest of the game. He's not going to be able to produce anything more unless he gets another base up. So many interceptors, 9 carriers just doing their work, doing their darndest to pick off every single Goliath that Royal has. He's got nothing left. I think Stork has done it. He's made a miracle happen, floating a factory to try and get some vision here, but Royal just not able to jump on these carriers, not able to pick them off in anything like a efficient manner. He's just losing so many Goliaths. He's gonna have to tap out. This 10 carrier count, well, only 9 now, more than enough to deal with this army and everything that Royal's been able to produce. GG is called. Royal taps out, and Stork, hey, he gets the clapper from KCM. A pretty decent comeback there, and kind of a cool, well, I guess yeah, kind of a cool strategy there from Stork. Just take 3 bases on your island and go straight into carriers. It seems like pretty strong. I think we might see Stork do well in ASL if he manages to make it deep into the tournament long enough to play on that map. That map being Neo Arkanoid, by the way, an old map that has been brought back in this new season. Yeah, that was a good comeback. 10 carriers strong, man. 10 carriers is hella strong. I think we saw Stork go down to just 1 base mining for a little bit there, and he still manages to make that comeback. I think he was like at least 60 supply down as well, but the power of the carrier cannot be denied, and Stork takes that one away. We're gonna that was our final Terran player, guys. Terran is dead. Terran once again first to go out. Are you serious? 3 days or 3 weeks in a row, Terran it goes down first. So it's just going to be pure PvZ from here on out. Let's get into our next game. Get it started. Alrighty, here, nothing left to do but move on to our next game here. We've got Queen in the top right hand corner, Stork in the bottom right. I'm feeling a little better. Took a little break. Breathing a little bit more normally now. And I'm ready to cast, I guess. Let's see how this one goes. Feeling a little short of breath last time. Just kind of pushed through. Had to take a cough break once again. So freaking annoying, man. Can't believe how many fires there are, and just how much allergies I've been getting recently, but I digress. Just me complaining. No need to worry. I'm sure you guys remember last year, those of you in America and Canada, how bad the fires were. So glad that I was in Japan during that time. Nice catch there, Queen. Catching that probe. Nicely done, Stork. Sending some of his zealots back home. He's gonna leave one at the third base, though. That should end up getting picked off. I think he should tuck that down up behind the gas geyser or in between those mineral patches there in a second. So that that doesn't get picked off too easily. Like he's gonna find a spot for it. No, oh, okay, gotta go ahead and hide that. Great surround so far from Queen, nicely done. But Stork will back away with this and could end up getting in with his... Oh, hold on. 2 Lings making their way into the natural. That's not good. Gonna lose his pylon potentially. Zealot in the top left actually stopped moving and got picked off. So that's a big win there for Queen. The rest of his Lings are going around. 3 Zealots are running into the main right now, but a whole bunch more Lings are coming down towards this natural here. And Stork might have a hard time holding on against this. Oh, that Ling actually running out there. 2 Zealots here into the main. A bunch of Lings hitting the natural of Stork right at this moment. Probes are holding off pretty well. Lings do manage to slip in, though, probably with quite low HP. Both players kind of paying attention elsewhere, mostly in this main base. And Stork is going to be able to clean this up relatively easily. Oh, almost going to lose this Overlord. That's close. But does manage to back away there. Tons more Lings popping. And the Stork needs to be really careful not to die to this Ling counterattack. A Cybernetics Core now on the way, but Queen throws down his Hydra Den at about the same time. He's only got a few drones right now. Is he going to go for 973? It kind of looks like it. 973, the most aggressive Hydralist bust that we have. Doesn't leave a lot of room for economy and an economic fallback option, but the power of the 973, it cannot be denied. You can break a Protoss that doesn't build enough cannons very, very quickly, very, very efficiently, and just end the game before it ever gets into a mid-game, before the Protoss really powers up is what I want to say, before they get their Zealot speed and their 8 gateways and all that stuff, the tech as well. It hits right in time. You have a bit of time to break down the front and get in there, kill the cannons before Templars can pop and to throw down their storm. So here's an extra cannon. Stork, he hasn't gotten out on the map yet. He's sending this probe. Some Zealots going out too, trying to get some information here. He doesn't really know what's going on, and we saw earlier, I think it was Bisu who just straight up died, right? Or was it Bisu? Yeah, Bisu straight up died to a Ling attack because he sent out Zealots at this time. But you can see what the reason is. What is the thinking there? Sending out Zealots right now is essential to figuring out what your opponent is doing, to find out if it is indeed that 973 that's coming. And he is seeing, oh wow, actually quite a few more drones than a 973. So Queen may have ideas about a slightly more macro focus bus, or perhaps just breaking down this wall in the front and then working his way into a macro game, a later macro game. But more Hydras popping out. That may actually not be the case. He may just want to break this down, and Stork's not adding on any more cannons at the moment. He really needs to be. He's actually putting down gateways right now, which is not what he should be doing right now. Cutting some corners here, taking a risk, and he may end up getting punished. Queen, more and more Hydras arriving here. The range is going to be done shortly. We don't have many Zealots. Oh man, this is really, really bad. Diving right on top of these 2 cannons. 2 cannons go down immediately. Stork pulls the probes, but there's only 1 cannon left here. Probes are going down like crazy. There's 2 Zealots, 1 Dragoon, and 1 cannon. The Hydras dive directly on the cannon, and the cannon dies immediately. Stork Oh, just getting a little bit overconfident. 2 more cannons do finish up. Cannons do die so incredibly fast, though, to these Hydras, and there you have it. Another cannon goes down. All the probes in the natural have died, and Stork sitting here with these 4 gateways, wishing that he had additional cannons to hold off this attack. Bit unfortunate there. Stork just thinking he had it covered with the 4 cannons. Ends up getting cracked, and now there's really no chance of a comeback. And GG is called. Stork taps out. Queen will go into our final game. That's coming right up. All right, hopping into our final game of the night. It's going to be Snow at the 12 o'clock position versus Queen down here in the bottom right on Neo Sylphid. I'm here with a very special guest. His name is Snowflake. How you doing, Snowflake?
Hi, I'm doing really good, thanks.
Well, thank you so much for supporting these casts on patreon.com, man. You're going to be casting for your very first time. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like my first time, I don't really know what to say, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, we've got Snow here. You're a Protoss player, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So I see Snow, Queen won 1 game here. So it's is this the final game or?
Yeah, this is the final game of the week 3 of KCM. Sorry, you're just jumping in. You're gonna get a bit of a spoiler. You'll have to go back and watch the rest of the games later. But I figured this was a good game to have you co-cast with me, so I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Queen down here, getting ready for a 12 hatch, looks like, and Snow's gonna put on a bit of early pressure with that gateway first. Is this the way that you like to play on the ladder?
Yeah, I'm more of like the old get a cannon up or forge and expand. So micro with a cell, it's gonna be interesting by Snow.
Yeah, it's super demanding using those early zealots and controlling your macro back at home as well. But these guys, they just do it so smoothly, make it look so good.
Yeah, but I see like even Beast is so good, he messes up and you can just so it was it last week also somebody messed up and just things pour in and you're dead. So we'll see what Snow can do here.
Yeah, there's a very fine balancing game that has to be played here with Snow sending his zealots across the map, because the moment you start to get overwhelmed with the Zerglings coming and surrounding those zealots, you have to get back into that wall, get the forge down, and get the cannon up. Otherwise, you just straight up die. So it's a tough balancing game to get used to. Having a cannon up, much easier. You just kind of have to be aware of possible busts that can come through and have your probes ready in time. Well, we've got a drone heading out here on the map. Snow just going to track that down, trying to get the moving shot going here. But Queen just going to go ahead and grab that 6 o'clock spot. First Zealot is making his way into the main. Zergling's about to pop out.
Yeah, so is Probe was doing a good job of harassing here. And he's gonna hide that zealot behind the mineral line. The second zealot, is he moving back with it? Looks like. Yeah.
That's that fine balancing game, right? He sees the number of lings here. It's enough. It's been produced. About 8 lings here, so yeah, not gonna get too much damage except for that 1 drone. Damn, nice job.
Yeah, that's nice. Good job by Snow.
Yeah,
what do you think Queen will do in this position? Just try and hold Snow in, box him in with his links?
Yeah, well, there's not much of a chance of counterattack now. I mean, forcing your opponent to produce 8 lings is one thing. That's quite a bit of defense is produced by Queen, but also getting a drone. Queen is going to be hurting here. He's already got his gas going. Going to start that layer soon, I predict, but Wait a second, 50 gas just disappeared. I think we might have a Hydra Den. There it is.
Yeah, I really like this play when you've already made the links and just try and you don't need to go on full offense, but you know, try and keep them back, and then I really like the ones when you're keep them back with the, but you don't go all in with the bust, but you just, and then you quickly attack behind it. So
Right, take out the buildings at the front, just kind of open that up. No,
Yeah,
not a
and
full committal to the bust, but droning out behind. It looks like Snow not even putting down a cannon here, playing risky, but has the probe on the other side of the map, so can't see that there's no Hydras just yet. Not
Yes,
too many
but-
more links being produced. Oh, it gets
It's
into
playing
the
a bit-
main.
that's nice. He sees it, so he's gonna need to put down some cannons now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that probably what you were describing earlier is going to happen. Now that it's been spotted, there's not much chance of just busting straight through this. He'll probably build a few Hydras with the range first and just try to pick off those buildings in the front and drone up behind that.
Yeah. So who are you actually rooting for here? Are you a Snow or a Queen fan now? And you see the game progressing.
I think
like- Who would you say was in favor now? Of course, that was a very good scout by Snow, but Queen's he has all the things he needs, and he can do a. Looks like it's either drawn for a fourth base as well.
yeah, it looks like he's going to take a quick fourth here. Even before throwing down macro hatches, and no layer either. I think that Snow is in an advantage right now because he got that early drone and he got the good scout, but you still have to put all the other pieces together perfectly in order to beat Queen here. He is very formidable, even when behind in a difficult situation, could end up taking this game. I actually don't know the results of this game, so I have no idea. I think that probably Snow can take this, but it's going to be close.
What do you think about the 4 cannons here? Would you do 4 cannons? Because he already has lots of zealots as well, and that's, you know, some gateways which are not being made. 5 cannons. He's taking it really seriously then.
Yeah, he is taking it seriously, and there are more Hydras coming across the map. That Corsair spotting all of those rallies coming, and I don't know if Queen's gonna pull the trigger here with the 4th base coming down. Oh, that +1. Oh, it doesn't finish. Oh, that's really
Yeah, that was
painful.
really good. That's really good by Queen. I think this is perfect by Queen. Just, you know, keep him back and then start droning up like crazy now. I don't think any attack will actually work. So just make him build lots of cannons and drone up and hatchery up at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we may end up seeing like a whole lot of sunken colonies come down here for Queen. Holding that 4th base this early on in the game is going to be really rough. The SimCity you can see already coming down. That's 3 different locations that he's going to have to defend here, though. And a Zealot speed not quite yet done. Queen going to take advantage of that, pick off a couple of Zealots. But he needs to fall back here soon.
Yeah, it's really good, and I see the double forge by Snow, so Queen has some time, but he can't, he needs to drone up, I think, as quickly as possible, and then throw down some static V, as you're saying. Because it's gonna be really tough here, having both 4th base, natural, and the 3rd base. It's gonna be wide open pretty soon.
Yeah, this is a really quick 4th base. You very rarely see Zergs snag that 4th base this early in the game, and it's going to be a point of contention here for sure. As soon as Snow gets out on the map, he's going to be sending Zealots to that location to harass. There's the first creep colony. We've got 2 more hatches down at the 6 o'clock as well. He doesn't have any static D there right now, but there's the Zealot speed. He's going to start chasing these down. Nice targeting by Queen, just picking off a couple of Zealots as he backs away. but he will be routed here. He will have to go on the defensive. Overlord's gonna fall as well, and Queen, the next stage of the game has begun. The defensive stage now for Queen. Can he hold on to all these bases?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a Spire either, I think, so he needs to protect his Overlord as well. No Overlord speed and no Spire, so DTs are out, he needs to protect those.
Yeah, Snow gonna split up a little bit here. He's looking towards his third base. Definitely the least defended of the three. Another Zealot DT group gonna head down to the bottom left as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
man.
DT is gonna go to work now.
Oh, so many drones being killed here. Nice egg on the ramp. Is slowing
very
things
nice.
down, but the Overlord was killed, and there's no Overlord speed, like you said before. How is he going to stabilize here? Not even mining on this fourth base right now.
But it's pretty impressive. He did take some damage there on the fourth, but still he held both of it. So I think it's really good defense from Queen here.
Now we've got a drop in the main. This could be the backbreaker here. There's so much going on the map. A couple of DTs dropping into the main could throw Queen off in a huge way. We've got a DT here going to town. 2 kills. Oh, nice pullback by Queen.
I think it's pretty good by Queen, but he needs to stabilize now, and if he can do that, then he'll be a good position with Lurkers and the 4 bases. But yeah, needs to hold on from the pressure here.
A lot of pressure coming. Drones running this way and that. A DT in the main actually getting more kills here, and DT in the natural as well, just cleaning up. Drones transferring in all different directions. Queen struggling here to stabilize, but he does still have that fourth base. His drone count still looking okay here. The losses are not so severe, I think, yet that Queen is going to be in a bad position, but Snow's done a good job of just directing his opponent in all different directions, just pulling him apart. And Queen is trying his best to hold on. He hasn't been able to put on any pressure at all. No third base from Snow just yet. He's going to still defend here in the natural. Does he have anything at the fourth? No, nothing here at the fourth. Another DT in the main as well. Oh my goodness, Snow everywhere.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit too much for Queen here, but he needs to stabilize now pretty soon, otherwise. But he, like you said, Snow doesn't have a third base, so if Queen makes it out here, he'll still have a good chance, but he needs to do it pretty fast.
Oh man, fighting with the drones there in the fourth base, probably not the best move. So many drones ended up dying to just those 4 or 5 zealots in that mineral line, and quite a few more drones went down in the main as well. He's popping out a whole bunch of new workers here, and there's going to be a little gap in production for Queen where Snow could possibly take advantage. He's sending through the middle of the map, but that's a lot of Hydras, man. These zealots are probably going to get torn apart.
Yeah, and the drops aren't doing the same damage now as before, so just needs a few lurkers out, make some defense, and there's a lurker there. And I think Queen still has a good chance. He just needs to gather his troops and hit this third base before it's too late.
That third base, precarious location there, right out in the front. It's very close to the Protoss main, but there's a full 180-degree surround that can happen on this base, right? There's a bunch of different angles that the Hydraless Zergling army with lurkers can come from to surround this location. The shuttle's still being annoying. There's no Spire here, so no chance of Scourge being produced to pick that off. So Snow doing the right thing here, just keeping that as a threat outside of the main base, forcing Queen to keep his attention back at home. And he's even going to get in here to the natural, might get some more kills as well.
Yeah, but I see the supplies are really even, so he has a lot of Hydras. He can just Needs to hold off this. Ah, that was a big storm.
Ooh, huge storm there. And the shuttle gets away with just 3 HP in the back. Big surround here. Lurkers burrowing in the background. Huge storm to the north side, though. Queen not really moving his Hydras out of that location. And Snow takes a big win here. So many Dragoons are left. However, Hydraless reinforcements spamming forward here. Queen just going to get this around. And I don't think there's any storms left over. Finally, some Zealot reinforcements do arrive, but the Dragoon army has been completely decimated here. Almost nothing left over. He gets the Observer as well. Nicely done.
Snow lost almost his whole army there. He didn't really get a lot done. He just thinned out Hydras. But but third base is up. He's still producing a good army. And this shuttle is still really annoying for Snow.
He absolutely needs to invest in a Spire at some point. Otherwise, this will just keep happening throughout the entire game. That damn 3 HP shuttle, man. What the heck? That thing's still alive in the back. Queen moving to the main middle of the map. Does he have any lurkers with this army, though? I don't see any just yet.
But mostly just Hydras pushing up here, and he needs to add some lurkers in here, or get a Spire. I think that's the time now.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see a huge attack from Queen. Look at the massive number of Hydras moving through the middle of the map. All this blue being sent up towards the third base. A fourth on the way for Snow. If he can hold on against this massive attack, he might be able to hold that fourth base and get himself into a good economic position. Good storm so far, pushing everything back. That's a really nice storm on the right-hand side. Another great one on the left as well. Just keeping these Hydras back, but the blue on this map is crazy. So many Hydras being reinforced on that left side. The Dragoons are about to be out of fodder here in the front. Zealots are cleaning up. Not many lurkers, though, in this fight. A real absence of lurkers, so most of the Zealots did a good trade. They really killed off a ton of these Hydras. Now, Hydra versus pure Dragoon. A great trade here for Queen, just shoving everything back. Lurkers finally joining the fray, and Snow is on full retreat.
Yeah, but he got the fourth base up, so he just needs to hold on now, and if he can put some probes over on the fourth, it'll be okay, but a lot of pressure coming out. I think this is Queen's going for it now before the fourth base up, and its main's dry, so Snow needs to hold on now, and this is really good push from Queen.
Yeah, I don't know if Queen's aware, but of that fourth base, probe line coming through. Holy cow, so many probes get wiped out in one fell swoop. 2 spine shots from those 2 lurkers just crushed that probe train there, and finally Queen sees the space on the high ground. It's a little bit too late, though. He's not going to be able to take that down easily. Oh, another big probe line. Oh, just turns it around in time.
Yes, stay in between here, and yeah, he goes for the fourth base. So he's gonna keep Snow, and Snow's gonna be down to 1 mining base, and pretty soon if he doesn't clean this out here.
Well, I saw DT headed towards that fourth. I think it might have saved the cannons on that high ground, but for how long? Queen just breaking through here at the third base. The storm's being dodged beautifully by Queen. His supply, 30 supply ahead of Snow at this point, and lurkers just filing forward. I don't know how he does it, but Queen breaking through with nearly pure Hydralisk against this very well-developed army of Snow. Doesn't even have to make a Spire. GG. Just pure Hydralisk for the win here. Queen. What a quick fourth. What a crazy macro game out of him. Beastly, beastly play, and great defense as well.
a really
야,
impressive
김명훈
macro from
선수가
Queen there,
예,
just
벌써
producing,
확실하게
staying
해가면서
calm,
불편록
you know, when it's in
또 리벤지에
attack
복수에
from all sides,
성공하면서
and just
저그팀을 우승으로
keeps on
이끌어
making,
버리네요.
pushing through.
진짜
Very impressive.
신나게 때렸는데.
예.
Yeah, he really did a great job of keeping his drones alive during all of that action. The drops,
예.
the run-bys with the zealots.
아, 근데 프로토스 팀 너무
It's
아쉽겠는데요.
it's
사실
so
테라스는
hard
오늘
to keep track of everything, to move the drones and the hydras. All of that micro is incredibly taxing, but Queen showing up beautifully there for Zerg takes another win in week 3 of the KCM. Just, oh my god, I can't believe Terran went down again. Can you believe that?
Terran's struggling.
Terran was 0
So-
points this season in
Yeah.
week 3.
이게 이래서 앞으로의 두 선.
Now they need to put on.
아이고,
We need
1330개.
flashback. That's how we do it.
Yeah, need to bring flashback. I don't know. I don't know what Terran needs at this point.
선물해 주셨습니다. 정말 감사합니다. 추석 선물
Yeah.
통 크게 선물해 주셨습니다.
I
감사합니다.
don't know who was playing from Terran this week, so don't spoil it for me, but I'll see when the video's released.
All right. Well, it should be released here very shortly. There's the firecracker, whatever the heck that is. What do you call that thing that KCM just used?
그리고 김명훈 선수가
I didn't see actually. I was.
포기하고 싶었을 거예요. 왜냐면 본진
Sorry, I
맞지,
didn't
6시
see.
맞지, 앞마당 맞지, 7시 맞지.
I always
본진
love
맞지,
his face
6시 맞지,
when he
7시 맞지,
pops
본진
the little
감사합니다.
Yeah. The party popper.
party popper. His face is always so funny. Look at that.
통 크게 선물해
Yeah.
주셨습니다. 감사합니다.
It's like you would think that he's blowing up a firecracker or something like that. Oh man, so
Yeah.
dramatic. So funny though. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Snowflake. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for supporting on Patreon as well, dude. Really appreciate it. Keeping the Broodwar dream alive. Thank you so much. Is there anything you
Yeah,
want to say before we end this cast?
Yeah, my pleasure. No, yeah, keep doing. We need doing what you're doing. We need to keep the Broodwar alive. It's been over 20 years and still going, so it's pretty good. Keep doing it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody who's watching out there. Really appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one.